Talk about it with Franjez. Today's special guest is the founder of Featherhouse Publishing, a children's author and the creator of Go Where You Grow, a storytelling-based social-emotional learning program running in New York City schools that teaches students resilience, self-awareness, and purpose through narrative. Today's guest is Liza May Reed.
Hello.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming by.
I'm grateful to be here.
Good. How you doing today?
I'm grateful.
Good.
Every day, grateful.
Nice. Is your real name May Reed?
That would be amazing, right? No.
Oh, I'm about to say, like, wow.
That would be too perfect.
Because it sounds like names. May is a name. Reed is a name. I'm like, what a great name.
My real name is Liza.
Okay.
But the May Read came from my childhood. So anytime my teacher would say Liza May Read, my stomach would turn. I hated books growing up.
Wow.
I was a terrible reader. So naming my pen name Liza May Read was me owning it, and full circle.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Perfect. You started off with, in the beginning, your childhood. Where were you born?
I was actually born around here, Bronxville, New York.
Okay.
Raised in the Bronx. I lived in Florida for 2 years for college, but then I came back to the Bronx.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood. What kind of kid were you? What were you into?
Extremely shy. I'm still extremely shy. So all this podcasting, I've had to really tap into, another version of myself. But I was extremely shy. I struggled a lot in school. I was the sickly kid. So I was out of school for many, many months. I would have to constantly get surgeries. I had a lot of auditory issues growing up. So that is why I struggled with reading, because I could not process words well. And because of that, I just was constantly held back and trying to catch up all the time. But I could never really catch up. So I never got left back. In hindsight, I feel like I probably should have been held back quite a few times. But I think my teachers kind of felt sorry for me, and they would just kind of let me go. And then, come high school was the first time that I actually went to school consistently for the first time. I didn't miss. The surgeries were over, thankfully. And but then I had summer school for the first time. So, yeah. So then I could really see how held back I was.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What exactly is wrong with your audio?
With my ears. So my left ear, I had something called cholesteatoma. And it's basically like a cyst that grows. And if it goes untreated, it can just continuously grow. And my situation was a little aggressive, because my mother would constantly take me to the ENT to check on it. But it was so aggressive that it would just always come back, even after all the surgeries. So it got to the point where it was going towards my brain, and it was going to affect my facial nerves. And I learned a lot of this after, because I was so young, so they hid a lot from me. I just knew it was always serious because the adults looked scared, right? So I would always kind of try to act like I was okay. I'm tough. I'm good, because I saw how stressed out they were. So, but it affected my schooling. I was constantly out of school for months, healing after. And then thankfully, I was referred to another doctor who I always look at him like he saved my life. And he didn't take children at the time. He only took adults. But he saw my case, and thankfully he took it. And he was the one that finally got rid of it, and it never came back.
Wow.
And that was it. I still see him to this day, every year.
What do you see? Just see if it grows back?
Just to check in, yeah.
Nice.
Just to check in.
You're going to do that for the rest of your life, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Annually,
Unfortunately,
once a year?
he gets older, so I'm going to have to get someone new.
Somebody else would definitely be able to find it.
Yeah, but he's my guy. He's saved my life.
Wow. So once a year?
Once a year, I always check. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've been good, thankfully.
So what is that exactly? I never heard of it.
I know.
Is it like genetic?
It can be genetic. You can also get it from chronic ear infections, and I did have that growing up. I had tubes put in really young.
Wow.
So my ears were always an issue, specifically my left ear. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds like a tough upbringing right there, especially school-wise.
It was challenging, yeah.
But they didn't leave you back. That's awesome.
They didn't leave me back.
I guess because
I was
medical.
grateful for it at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be held back. But in hindsight, as an adult, I'm like, of course that girl struggled. She should have probably been left back. And I was also so shy, I would never ask for help. I would just be like, I'm good. I got it. And keep going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Besides school and the medical, what else were you into?
I was always very artsy. I would draw anything artsy, Play-Doh, anything to create.
Tell us about the house a little bit. What's the food being cooked? What's the music being played?
The food, my parents were, I'm Puerto Rican. My parents were both born in New York. So, we had a little bit of everything. And music was always playing in my house. My dad, mainly, he would always play all types of genres. I grew up with Motown, R&B, hip-hop. My grandfather was a doo-wop singer. So I grew up with a lot of doo-wop. And then my grandmother would play salsa when we would go to her house. It was just always on. Music was just always on. Yeah. And then, I'm a 90s kid, so we grew up with MTV. And then I get exposed to Linkin Park, and I start kind of getting my own style with music, the Cranberries, Lauryn Hill. And, but music was always on. And it's part of everything I do. I write with music. I've never written without music. I don't think I know how to do it.
Is it like jazz, like something without lyrics?
Sometimes it'll be an instrumental. Sometimes it'll be a song.
Okay.
But I'm able to kind of just tune it out and let it do its thing and still do mine.
What was the first music you got for yourself? Like either bought for yourself or downloaded for yourself? You remember what it was?
I do. I remember the first CD someone bought me, and it was the Romeo Must Die CD, and it was Aaliyah, Try Again, which is ironic because that's kind of like my theme of my life. But I would play that song, Try Again, all the time. That was my song. I probably should have played it along this journey, too. I would have gotten probably a little quicker. But
now you know, tap it back in. Right? Yeah, definitely.
But I do remember, it was Aaliyah, Try Again.
Nice, nice. Junior high, high school, anything stands out besides summer school and high school?
Yeah. High school, same thing.
Sports or anything? Did you ever try any sports?
No, I played basketball every now and then, but I was never on a team. I was always very to myself, very quiet. I kind of would just go in, do my thing, and the minute the bell rang, I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was my high school photo, everybody has like a bunch of all these extracurricular activities, and mine is just like intermediate one. Like she didn't do anything, that girl. Yeah, but that was, I don't know, school was never my thing. Never.
As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I really didn't know. I didn't have a passion for a really long time. I would always hear about people having passions, and I kind of was worried about myself. Like, I don't have one of those, like I don't know what I'm going to do. So I really didn't have a thing that I can say that I wanted to do ever.
You have any siblings?
I do. And he always had a passion. He was always into music. So I would look at him and really think something was wrong with me, because I was like, I don't have that. He knows exactly what he wants to do from young. But I didn't have that, no.
Is he doing something with music today?
He's still always music.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Nice. What does he do?
He's hip hop.
I mean, like
he writes as well.
Creates? Oh,
he
nice.
Creates, yeah. So
Very
I always
nice.
saw him. He had it, and I just did not. I have crazy long fingers, so I wanted to give them a purpose. I always loved the piano.
Okay.
But again, like I would learn, and then I was so shy, I would cry my way out of anything my parents ever put me in.
If you don't really care about it, you're not gonna
I
go
didn't
for
have
it.
a thing till later in life.
So the end of high school comes, and you're thinking of college.
I am.
But you don't know what you want to do. What happens? How do you choose what you want to go to college for?
So I guess to kind of answer your question, I was into interior designing.
Okay.
So I went to college for that.
Really?
Yeah. So,
and like, what would be the job outcome that you were looking for with that type of degree?
Honestly, it was just the next thing to do. Again, I really wasn't crazy with school, but I felt like this is just what you do. So I had to pick something, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll become an interior designer. Even though deep inside I was like, I feel like I could kind of become that without a degree.
Yeah.
If you know your thing, you know your thing. So, but I did it, and then I quickly was falling out of love with it. And then I knew I had to stop, because I didn't want to start hating the thing that I actually love to do. And so I left. I said, you know what, this isn't for me. And then I was in limbo again. Like,
you dropped out.
I technically stopped going to school. Yeah, I didn't officially drop out.
And why
And I
Florida?
knew I had to change a major, because my parents wanted to change at the time.
They wanted to move out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then my aunt lived out there,
Okay.
so I was like, oh, I'll just find a school there. And it was a community college. It was nothing prestigious.
Yeah.
But they had some classes that I could take. So then I'm in limbo again, not sure what to do. And then someone tells me, because I was working at a daycare at the time, and she tells me, you're very good with kids. You should think about becoming a teacher. And that was so ironic because I hated school. But I knew that I loved working with kids. So I'm like, there's a little bit of truth to that. Maybe I should see how that goes. So then I go to school for early childhood development, and I start class, and my professor comes in. She reads us a children's book called Have You Filled the Bucket Today by Carol McLeod. And it's an amazing book. I highly recommend everybody read it. It's not for kids.
It's not for kids.
It's for kids, but it's not for kids.
It's a short, like for children? Like
it's a
very
children's
short,
book,
with
yeah.
pictures,
but
like
I
that
feel
type
like
of
all
children's book?
adults need to read it.
Tell us about it. What's it
I will,
about?
absolutely. Carol McLeod, go find it. It's all about bucket fillers and bucket dippers. So bucket fillers are the people who bring good energy, love, light, support to your life. The bucket dippers are the ones who take. And then it's all about, have you filled the bucket today? So have you been supportive to someone? Have you brought love or good energy, And it's a good moment to pause and check in with yourself. Have you filled the bucket today? So when I heard her reading those words, I was like, whoa, this is what children's books are about? Because at that time, I hadn't read a book ever. I'm in my 20s, never read a book. And I was shocked by that. I was like, this is a very deep concept. And then I had a second thought come in quick, and it was to write a children's book. But when that thought came in, I ignored it because my whole history went against this idea of writing a children's book. So I was ignoring it, but it would keep coming up for me, even after I left that class. And for weeks and weeks, write a children's book. And I didn't know what that was about. So then I started going to school, and I knew I was unhappy going to school. And I would just drive to school, wait in the parking lot, and not even go in. And I would just think about this thought of writing a children's book. And every time that thought would come, I would feel a joy that I could not understand why it was coming. It didn't make any logical sense. But I had to be honest with myself. It was there. It was present, potent, and real. So I had to make a choice. And I did. I made the choice to drop out of college and come back to New York to write a children's book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your parents stayed down there?
They did.
Nice.
Yep.
What age was it when the hearing issue was resolved?
8th grade was my last surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, did the life get easier?
It did, because I had to readjust. For many years, I always had, my nervous system was a mess. Now that I'm older, I'm able to articulate that and understand. When you're a kid, you're not knowing why You're always scared, why you're always nervous. But
and our parents don't know.
No, no, they did the best that they can with what they do know, right? So in hindsight, it was the first time I didn't have the worry of having to have a surgery every year. So it was different.
Nice. So you leave college. The first time you went to college, it was for
interior
design. Did you leave or just stay and you change your majors?
Exactly.
Change your majors. So then now you have this epiphany, I have this calling to just write this child's book, and you drop out right away?
I did.
Okay.
And then I head back to New York. And then I took the red pill.
What do you mean?
You ever seen the movie The Matrix?
Yeah.
It was like I took the red pill. In that very moment, my whole life changed. Really? It was crazy, yeah.
Nice. So what was it did you think you were going to get in New York? Is it like a publishing? Is it easier to get published over here, or what is it?
I don't know. Something just felt right. I knew I was unhappy in Florida. Have you ever seen the movie The Truman Show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Me too. That's what it felt like.
Leaving New York, 100%
Yes.
I feel like that.
So you get what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's why I felt like I needed to leave. And the minute I come to New York, I always feel like, there's a heartbeat here. I work better here. There's a rhythm. So I knew I had to come here to do it.
Nice. You came back to the Bronx?
Yeah.
Nice. So what's the first step? You come, you get a job, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so I come back, and it was like everything was just kind of working out in my favor to stay. So I couldn't find a job for a little while, and then a little job came up, and it would get me by just to get food, get groceries. Because then I'm on my own. And I chose that. And I didn't want my parents to help me. I said, you know what? This is my choice. I want to do this. And I really grew up. And so, yeah, I start getting jobs. And then I'm starting to read books for the first time ever.
Let's talk about that. The first book you read as an adult was a children's book.
Yes.
That inspired you to write a children's book, which is perfect.
Yes.
Like, that's poetry. As an adult, adults don't read children's books. So that you've read one and it inspired you to write one, that was literally like destiny right there. Yeah. So after you read that one and you're inspired and now you want to write your own, are you still reading children's books or are you switching up to adult books?
I'm straight to adult books.
Okay. And what type of books? Like genre or?
Yeah. So my brother actually gave me the first book I ever read, and it was called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
Have you read
book.
it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful book. And it was exactly what I was going through at the time. I was finding my personal legend, and I would get signs, and I was meeting people. So I really connected with that book. And I always say it takes one book to change your whole perspective on reading. And that was the book for me. And I'm hoping Go Where You Grow can be that book for kids who might not like reading.
Yeah.
Or even adults, who knows, right?
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, look at me. Exactly.
I read my first book when I was an adult also.
What was it?
I was a correction officer.
Okay.
And I hated books. I hated school, all that. So I'm there, and it's boring on duty. Some positions, they're boring.
Yeah.
You're just sitting around waiting for something to happen. So one of my coworkers said, and it's contraband to bring a book inside.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just in case that book is not allowed in the system, they don't even want to leave it at a risk. Don't bring books, don't bring magazines. You can't bring anything inside.
But can the people in there read?
There's a library inside,
okay.
but the state, of course, approves every book there.
I got you.
But officers can bring whatever the hell they want inside, so they don't let officers bring books
Okay.
inside. So we will sneak it under our lunch bag or whatever.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's my first year on, and my coworker that I just met, I'm brand new, and he's like, yeah, we all sneak books in. And he shows me, you know who Tucker Max is?
No.
It's this guy that just writes books about his drunk stories.
Oh, okay.
And it's just debauchery. It's disgusting stuff.
Okay.
Vomiting and all this nasty stuff, but it's hilarious.
Okay.
They even made a movie out of it.
All right.
I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell is the name of the book.
Okay. That was your first book?
That was my first book ever that I read beginning to end.
That is so funny.
And it's hilarious. I'm literally dying laughing in the prison. And that opened me up to just read and enjoying a book.
Right.
But it was only that situation made me focus on something.
Right, 'cause you
outside,
had nothing else
I
to
could do
do.
anything else I want. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing else to do. I could enjoy the hell out of a book. So I started reading a lot of books in there. Started off with a bunch of stupid books like that. But then after I finished his books, I started looking for books that I would enjoy. And I don't like novels. I don't like fake stories. I love true stories. So I started reading memoirs.
Okay.
And then I started getting into self-development. And that's actually what helped me leave the department.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my little
I can
book
see
journey.
how that does it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That's beautiful. So yeah, same with me. After The Alchemist, straight to Barnes & Noble, self-development,
There you
personal
go.
growth aisle. That was me. I would be there all day because I didn't
the
really
Four
have a job.
Agreements was my favorite.
Me too. That was
that's at
the, that was
top
the
of my
second
list.
book I read.
Nice.
Such a beautiful book.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's short, easy to read,
Game
easy
changing.
to digest.
I feel like that book is like the first book I would recommend to someone who's...
It's number one on my list because it's the first one to slowly pry your mind open to what really matters.
Yes. You want to talk about a book that makes you go like this?
Yeah.
Every page?
Oh, that's the
book.
one. Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
Right?
It's so simple. Anybody can understand it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I read it recently again after a long time of not reading that book. I only read it once, and it was the beginning of my journey. And I read it last year again, and I was like, wow, I need to read this book once a year.
Absolutely.
And I would recommend that for everybody, just to
Absolutely.
stay sharp,
I agree.
stay fresh. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
People read a book, we're guilty of it too, and say, oh, I got what I needed from that book. But when you revisit it, after you grew a lot more, it hits you completely different.
And you have
understand
to
it's so
implement.
different.
You have to implement the lessons.
Absolutely.
That's why I developed a program with my book, because I didn't want kids to just read it. I wanted them to live it and experience it and to embody the lessons.
Can't wait to hear about this book. It looks pretty big too.
It's a big boy, yes.
What ages is it?
So I have on the book 5 through 8, but I crossed it out and I wrote everyone.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
I really
that.
can't put an age on it.
Nice. All right, let's get back to the timeline. So you get this book, you love it, and you start going to Barnes & Noble to look for more books. And what, any other ones that you remember that impacted you?
There's so many, my goodness. Four Agreements, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. I remember I was on the subway once, and this guy, New York City, so you're meeting characters, right?
Oh, yeah.
This guy stops me, and he's like, "You have shark eyes." And I'm like, "I don't think that's a compliment, but thanks." And then he's like, "You need to read How to Influence Friends, How to Win Friends and Influence People." And I was like, okay. Guy left. This was New Year's. I don't even remember the year, but I was going into the city to hang out with friends for New Year's. He tells me this, and that book just stood with me. And I was like, let me get that copy, because who comes up to people? But this is New York City, so this is whatever.
He could have said anything.
He could have said anything. And he points me out and tells me I need to read this book. And like I told you, I was extremely shy. So I would never go up to people and just talk or whatever. I was just always very timid. But when I read that book, I wasn't crazy with the name because it kind of sounded like manipulation. And I don't know, something threw me about the name. But I just gave it a chance and I read the book. And what that book taught me was how to become a listener. And then I would practice on the subway. If there was someone, that said anything, I would just kind of chop it up with them. And then I learned how to communicate and become a listener. And when you become a listener, all people want to do is talk. And really, all they want to do is kind of talk about themselves.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that's why you have a podcast.
It is such an easy podcast. I asked people about themselves. I was like, all right, here we go.
This is actually very not, it's uncomfortable for me.
Of course.
Because I like asking the questions.
When I'm a guest on a podcast, I know I feel it.
Right?
I feel it.
So, because I've already wanted to ask you 4 things.
Go ahead.
I had to stop myself.
No, go ahead. I like asking all the questions. So if I like to keep it not about me, but I'll answer whatever you ask.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that in mind because things are going to pop up.
Yeah.
So I started to learn how to kind of get out my shell and made more comfortable. And now it just feels like I love talking to strangers. Like I will talk to everyone. Oh, I love it. Everyone to me is a book. And I love reading their pages.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Something to learn.
Mm-hmm. That's literally what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So how the next steps come about?
So then I'm starting to read for the first time. Now I'm starting to try to find my voice, and I'm starting to try to write. I've never even read. So to me, it's like I have this girl in my head that's telling me, you have no business doing this. You've never read a book. You're very late with this writing. Like, you're not a writer. You're not an author. What are you doing, And I'm constantly battling with that girl because I'm like, well, chick, I got this voice telling me I need to write a book, and I have these signs that are showing up. So it's either I listen to you or I listen to these signs. And I really was trying to listen to the signs, but I'm a very logical gal, and my logical brain would always come in and try to debunk everything that was happening.
That's awesome.
But I had to continue to follow the feeling of joy. And when I continued to follow the feeling of joy, even though it didn't make sense, my life was magical. A lot of beautiful things would happen. And I started to write books. And then I got my first book, Persnickety Coddington. And then I got my second book. I really thought I was coming to New York to write one book because the thought that came to me was write a children's book. But then I started seeing other stories were coming about. And I was kind of just going with the flow. So then I would also try to pitch these stories to different agents. So then hopefully they would get me into publishing houses. But I kept getting rejected. And then eventually I met someone named Sarah Steinwise. She's a coach in Brooklyn. And she read my stories. And she read 2 of my stories. And she said, Liza, there's this thing called social and emotional learning. And it's in schools. And the schools need more books. I think you should just self-publish. And you should get your books into schools. And when she said that, I had been rejected so many times that I was like, maybe this is what it needs to be. So I started my own publishing company, Featherhouse Publishing. And then I start getting ready to go into books. And then the pandemic happens. There are no more schools. Yeah. So after getting rejected, then getting a moment of like, oh, this might work, it's done. So it was a good 5 years that I was trying to make this happen, and it just wouldn't happen. Everything you could think of. A lot of character was built because I feel like none of these things go, without lessons.
Yeah.
But at the time, of course, it just feels like everything, roadblock, this. So I had to my resilience built. But at that moment, I had hit a personal thing happen as well, and I just kind of shut down. And in my book, I named these characters called giver-uppers, and that's exactly what I became. I was a giver-upper. I tapped out, and I said, you know what, maybe all this, write a children's book thing, maybe this was all like, just a crazy dream that I thought was for me, but it really wasn't. So I shut it all down. Like, I stopped. I took all my books down because then I self-published, right? So I had some books online, took everything down, put it all away, and I stopped. I said I was done. I gave it a good run. 5 years, that's a long time. But then I started to live kind of like, you ever seen Harry Potter?
No.
All right. So in Harry Potter, they call the people that lack magic muggles.
Okay.
And that's the best way I could put it. Like, I just turned into a muggle, like a mundane, miserable muggle. And I was just living the 9 to 5, had no passion anymore. I wasn't writing. There was no spark in my life for a good 5 years. And I had to be really honest with myself and tell myself, like, all right, what are you going to do? Because this felt right. This felt like your thing. But nothing had worked out. So I was really scared. But then the signs started to come back. And when the signs started to come back, I knew that it was for me. It's kind of like what they say about love, right? If you let someone go and they come back, they're for you. It's exactly what happened with this book. I let it go. And when I tell you I let it go, I released it. I even thanked it. I said, thank you for the lessons. This didn't go without lessons, and I grew so much with it. I'm grateful, but I can't do this anymore. And then it came right back 5 years later, and I prayed on it. I said, God, I believe in God, a higher power. I said, if you want me to do this, please send me help, because I can't do this alone. I did it alone for so many years, and nothing worked out. And I was open to help for the first time. And I kid you not, that's when I met my life coach, and that's when, like, everything changed for me. I started the book again, and she taught me all the things that were blocking me. And what I learned was that what was blocking me was that I was still very much that little girl who was shy, who did not believe she was smart enough, who was afraid to say she needed help, who was afraid to even read out loud. And that little girl was out here trying to get published. Now, she needed attention. She needed to be brought up to speed as to what was going on, and I needed to talk to her for the first time. And that's what I did with her coaching. And it was amazing. At first, I was like, speak to my younger self. That sounds, I've never heard of that. I've done a lot of work, self-development, like I told you, but I've never done that type of work. Mm-hmm. That type of work is on another level.
It's uncomfortable work.
Uncomfortable. But it's the realest work you'll ever do.
Absolutely.
And that's why I feel extremely called to talk about it now, because I never knew the importance of that work. I never knew the importance of finding support. I never knew the importance of finding a mentor. And because of those 3 things that I did, my whole life, I'm living a completely different book. Like I told you, I see everybody's lives as books, right? Mm-hmm. I was not holding my quill. I gave up. I put it down. But my coach, she really taught me how to hold the quill and how to write with intention. And that's what I teach kids as part of my program, how to be the author of your life.
Nice. This is the book before you started the publishing company? This is the exact book you already had?
No.
Okay.
So that book is filled with 5 different stories. The 5 different stories in that book are the stories that I had.
So you just had them written?
I did.
You didn't have it published yet?
No.
You didn't have it, like, physically a book yet?
I had Persnickety Coddington. I had the Quarrelsome Twins. And that was it, pretty much. And I just had them as single books.
Okay.
And I was trying to go around selling those. But then after I stopped, everything was done. And then when I revisited, I said, you know what? I want to put them all into one book. And then the title, Go Where You Grow, came to me. And it just felt right. It should all be together in one book. So there's 5 stories in there.
Tell us about the title.
Go Where You Grow. That is my mantra now for life. That's why I'm here right now. I'm going where I'm growing. So I believe that's what we all need to do. We all need to just continuously go where we grow, because that's when you'll meet your truest self.
Not necessarily physically, also mentally? Mentally.
Okay. Emotionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. How'd you go about finding the life coach?
So I came across her online, So my grandmother passed away. And my grandmother was always afraid of passing away. She loved to live and live to the very end. She was 93, and she would say she was bored. Like, she just wanted to constantly just live and do everything. Beautiful soul. And she passed away. And after she passed away, I needed comfort. And I don't know why, like, I gravitated towards, you ever seen What Dreams May Come?
Yep.
Love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. And I read the book. It was the first time I ever read the book. And when I read the book, that book gave me so much comfort. And it made me feel like she was in another place. And I never experienced anything like this. When she passed, we experienced a lot of like her presence kind of lingering in the house. I never felt that before. So I felt like she was somewhere. I didn't know where, but she was somewhere. Her soul continued on. Her body might have not, but her soul was still extremely present. And after I read What Dreams May Come, it kind of led me down the rabbit hole of NDEs. Have you been down that rabbit hole?
Absolutely.
So when I started hearing those stories, they gave me a whole other comfort that I didn't even know I needed. And I went, like, I would just listen to them. And then I gave it a break. And I think it was like already a year that I had not listened to them. But then for whatever reason, I guess my algorithm on YouTube, this lady pops up and I see that she has an NDE story. And I'm like, let me listen to hers because they always give me comfort. And I wasn't feeling great that day. So I listened to hers and I got extremely emotional when she says a certain line. And I'm not someone that easily, that's not true because these days I get touched easily. Like I can feel and I will get emotional. But to me, anytime I get emotional, I feel like there's something there. And I need to pay attention to it. So I got very emotional with this lady's story. I've watched a lot of NDEs, and I never got emotional like that. I love them, but not the way that I felt when I saw hers. And at the same time, I was asking God, like, if you want me to do this, send me help, right? So when I look into this lady, for some reason, I wanted this woman to know that she had impacted somebody in the Bronx, right? She looked like she lived in Idaho. So I really wanted to let her know. Like, I wanted to know how far she's reached. So I DM'd her and I said, thank you for being so courageous. I forgot what I said, but I think I was just thanking her for putting her story out there. And I told her, like, you know, you've reached someone in the Bronx. And then she wrote me back really quickly and she goes, oh, I'm in Brooklyn if you ever want to come. I felt so stupid. I was like, oh, shit, she's in Brooklyn. So then, and then I noticed that her thing says personal coach. And I'm like, oh, she's a coach. And that was it. Something just kept pulling me to her. She's the person that's going to help you. She's the person that's going to help you. And again, I always try to ignore that voice for whatever reason. I'm stubborn, but I couldn't ignore it. Kept telling me she was the one that was going to help me. And it was very uncomfortable to reach out to ask for it, even though she was a coach and this is what she did. But for me, again, I'm that little girl who never asked for help. So I'm still that little girl who never asked for help. But I knew I had to ask her for help because something was telling me she was going to help me. And she did. She has completely changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
In what ways?
Oh, my God. So many ways. When I prayed, I said this clearly. I said, I'm going to need a miracle for me to want to do this again, for me to even feel like this is, the words I used was I'm going to need a miracle. And she is a walking miracle. Her story is incredible. She was an addict in the streets of New York 7 years ago. She has a wild story. And when I saw what she has done with her life, it was so undeniable that I trusted her like I've never trusted anybody before. So she's the only person that could tell me to do something and I'll do it. And I'm stubborn. I really am.
How'd she get out of her hole?
So her NDE story, when she had that NDE,
was it through
completely
drug
changed
abuse?
her life.
Like
yes.
it was an OD?
She overdosed.
Wow.
Yep.
Did she tell you what drug?
It was a
An
concoction
of
yeah. Her
probably
story's out
fentanyl
there.
in there.
She goes on podcasts. Yeah, she does her thing.
What's her name?
Betty Guadagno.
All right,
I call her B. She's B to me. But
she's B to me.
She's B to me. She's she's a miracle. But So yeah, she's changed my life completely. And
Tell us about her NDE a little bit, if you could vaguely, just say a little bit of
I don't
what
want
her
to speak
experience
for
was.
her, but
She's been on podcasts, so I assume
she
her
has,
stories,
yeah.
she's okay telling her story.
She is. But yeah, she's had a wild life. She's very open about it. She had a near-death experience, drug overdose, and basically, like, she saw God, and God told her, like, you need to chill out. And she always has this one line that's really beautiful, and she heard her father, who had passed away, tell her, "You are worthy of all the love in the universe."
Wow.
Yeah, I get goosebumps every time I think of it or hear her say it. And that has changed her life completely. And she also had signs, and she would follow them, and it guided her to NA. She got clean, and she's become a life coach, and she speaks on this. She's on a big podcast. She was on My Embryonic. She was on Next Level Soul, another big one.
I gotta look her up.
Yeah, she's
I gotta see what her face looks like. Maybe it's Betty
Guadagno. You could do on My Embryonic.
Yeah, I just saw her. She doesn't look familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watch a lot of those NDE stories. Yeah. What was the religion in your house growing up when you were a kid?
I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you still follow?
I wouldn't say I'm religious.
Yeah.
I'm definitely spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have such a beautiful relationship with God. It's gotten nothing. It's stronger and stronger. And she has also helped me with that.
She said she saw God. Mm-hmm. Did she say what it looked like? Was it like Jesus?
No, I don't believe. I haven't listened to her NDE in a really long time, so I don't really remember her story verbatim.
I hear some stories where it's like
I don't think she saw Jesus.
You don't. In some NDE stories I've heard, it's like not human bodies. It's more like an energy.
Yeah, she says light bodies.
There you go.
She saw light bodies. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also had like she learned about a pre-birth planning. So it's kind of like she saw that she basically created this life that she lived. She's written it. I also read a book called The Seat of the Soul, Gary Zukav, and he talks about life contracts and how he believes we write up these lives and we write up the characters that are in them, even the ones that challenge us the most, all for our evolution, all for our greater good. So
before we're born?
Before we're born.
I've heard stories where it's like we choose our parents,
right,
and stuff like
choose
that.
Choose our parents. So that's part of her NDE. That's what she learned. And when she learned that, it helped her feel less of a victim. And it gave her that, what I like to call authorship. So then I think that helped her,
Yeah.
Once you lose, and that's, again, part of what I teach, to me, we have two choices. We could either have a victim's mentality or an author's mentality. We can either remember that we write our story or, stay victim.
Yeah.
Stay in a stuck chapter, in a loop. Nothing happens there. Growth chapters, that's when new characters come out.
Yeah.
New opportunities, doors open, magic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that. So let's get back to the book. So you have this life coach. She's helping you see things clearly.
Right.
This is what you need to do. And then how do we get to this physical book? You have the publishing company.
I do.
So I'm assuming you're doing the printing?
I am, yes.
Okay.
So I have my illustrator, Kevin Gonzalez, who he's done a beautiful job with this book. He worked with me all those years. So we had everything. We had the story, we had the characters, we had the illustration. I just needed the passion to come back. So in many ways, my life coach was kind of like a marriage counselor. She brought back the passion.
Yeah.
And then I was able to start it up again. Then I started working with a writing coach, and he was amazing as well, Edward Vilga, and he helped me tighten up all my rhymes, and everything just became more solid. Myself, the book, the publishing house, and then I started going into schools, and that's where we are.
Yeah, I want to get into those details. How do you get to this?
To an actual physical book?
Yeah. I'm assuming it's like the printing is a whole separate company.
It is.
Right?
So I use Amazon for now.
This is from Amazon?
Amazon.
Really?
Prints it out. Yep. They started doing hardcovers
Because I published 2 books a few years ago. A few years ago, 2011, no, 2017, 2016, I think it was. And it's just a paperback, and I had no idea they could even do this.
Amazon never had hardcovers. That's something new. I want to say maybe 2 years ago they came out with the hardcover.
Wow, this is impressive.
Thank you.
I would have never guessed this is Amazon.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So then that answers it right there. That's
yeah.
Because when I was writing these books, I was looking for publishers, and they all shut me down. And then I learned if you don't really have a name out there or a portfolio or something, they're going to tell you there's nothing we could do for you. So I went to Amazon. I was like, oh, just Amazon it.
What are your books about?
They're just poetry.
Oh, nice.
Poetry and quotes.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell me. Let me know if
sure.
I can still find them.
It's, I don't create like that anymore because my inspiration is all negativity, heartbreak, and all this bad stuff. I could write for days if I'm going through something. But I've been in this self-development, enlightened journey. I don't even feed into the negativity, so it doesn't come out like that.
Have you tried writing positivity?
It's trash.
To you?
Yeah, to me.
Okay.
But I've recently...
trash is someone's treasure, though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I hate it. I recently discovered about myself, I love negativity. Even the music I listen to, the movies I watch, like I never watch positive stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's just...
What is it? Does the positive feel cheesy, or what is it?
I don't know. It doesn't intrigue me.
It doesn't intrigue
It doesn't intrigue me at all.
Yeah.
I need some type of chaos. I need some negativity. Something. Like rap. I love rap.
Well, read my children's book.
Yeah, it's positive. I'll give it a try.
Well, if you like rap, put a beat on and read it. It rhymes.
I like that because it rhymes.
Yeah.
I like that. So you get it physically made,
Printed.
And then... promotion comes next, or what comes next?
Yeah, I'm kind of in that phase of promoting, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
So what came next for me with this was I started to then go to schools, and I was knocking on all doors like a Jehovah's Witness.
So what are you looking for? You're looking for, like, for example, New York City. For New York City Department of Education to actually say, we'll read this as part of the curriculum?
No, so I have my own curriculum.
Okay.
It's a social and emotional learning program. So it's a 5-week residency. And I basically, if you sign up with me, what happens is I come to your school for 3 days out of the week. And we focus on one story each week. And the kids learn the lessons of the story. So the lessons that I have in this book are self-belief, empathy, resilience, patience, gratitude, and giving back. So we learn those lessons, but then we also I teach self-awareness. So how I teach kids self-awareness is by teaching them that we're both the character and the author of our lives. The character is the one that feels all the feelings. The author is the one that notices. So in our lingo of self-development, it would be the observer, right? The minute you become the observer and tap into that, you're no longer a victim to your feelings. So feelings are information. They're not instructions. And that's what I teach kids, and it helps with regulating. And then I also have like a regulation tool, and it's an actual physical quill. And I use that. It's called a quill method that I've developed. And basically, it's a self-regulating tool. So to go through it with you, it'll be quiet the character. So that's when we pause, we take a breath, and we just chill. Quiet the character. We're going to understand the feelings. So let's say before I got here, I was a little nervous, right? So I had to quiet my character. And then I had to understand the feelings. I was nervous. And then we're going to take ownership again. I am the author of my life. Then we're going to learn from that moment. Why was I nervous? Why? Because, again, I'm still that little girl that's shy. But we're going to remember I am the author of our life, right? And then we're going to live as the author moving forward. So once you're done with quill, you've self-regulated yourself. You've come from the character. Now you're back to holding the quill, and you're the author. And we're going to choose a growth chapter. We're not going to act like it didn't happen because everything's a lesson. So we're going to acknowledge it and move on.
What's a quill?
Quill, that's the quill method. So a quill is a feathered pen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So That's a whole other story as to why Featherhouse Publishing is called Featherhouse Publishing.
I want to get into all the details. Tell us about it. I just learned what quill is.
But you've seen them before, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a quill.
Okay.
So
that's the one that you have to dip in ink, like, and all that
exactly.
fancy stuff. Okay.
So the feather and the quill have become a huge part of what I do. And the reason is because when I came back to New York and I didn't know whether to stay here or continue to write, I was really lost. And I thought I was going to go back to Florida. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I got this all wrong. Like, I made a mistake. Let me just go back to school. It's safe, right? And I would talk to an aunt of mine, and she told me, she said, like I told you, I grew up Catholic. Catholics have saints for everything. So she tells me that there's a saint for writers, and I should look him up.
Really?
Yeah. After I told her, like, Dee, I'm a little confused. I thought I was supposed to come to New York to write a children's book, but nothing's really coming to me, and I'm just kind of here. I think I'm going to go back to school. And then she tells me there's a saint for writers, and his name is Saint Francis de Sales. So I'm like, okay. I wasn't going to look him up. I'm in my 20s. Like, I'm like, in through one ear, out the other, right?
And you're not religious at this time? You're ready?
Not really. I'm, like, kind of questioning things. But again, like, write a children's book, his name kept coming to me. So I said, let me just read this guy's story. And when I read his story, it was very similar to mine. He was getting signs, and he became a writer. So I was like, interesting. He's also the saint for the deaf. My whole childhood.
That's wild.
Right? So then, the following week, the next day, that night, I'm sorry. Because there's so many things that happen with that saint afterwards that I'm like messing up my order here. That same day, after reading his story, I was shocked. And I said, you know what? Let me pray to this guy. I never do that. I've never prayed to a random saint guy. So I lit up a candle and I prayed. And again, I was very scared at this time. And I let out all my fears, my confusion. And I let it all out. And I said, you know what? I don't know what that was about. I got very emotional, started crying. I don't know what that's about, but I did it. Whatever happens, happens. The next day, a friend of mine tells me, my grandmother invited me over for breakfast. Do you want to come? I said, sure, I'll go with you. We're there eating breakfast at her grandmother's house. Her grandmother looks over my left shoulder, and she says, I see a man writing on your shoulder with a feathered pen. And he wants you to know that he helps you write the things that you write. And I kid you not, Fran, I was like, what?
That's wild.
Never in my life have I ever had that happen to me, but I knew exactly who she was talking about. And I wasn't scared. At that time, I didn't like stuff like that. Like, don't tell me you see, I'm not into ghosts. But I had such a peace, and I was shocked. And she truly gave me the gift of faith because I was lacking it at that time. And she went on to tell me other things that I'm to do with this, and that was it. Once I had that confirmation, I talked to that guy all the time. I was like, let's go, buddy. Let's write some more books.
Yeah.
And that was it, yeah. So he became my guy. The feather, the quill became my thing, and that's why Featherhouse Publishing is called Featherhouse Publishing, and that's why the quill method is my method.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
The Liza May Read.
Mm-hmm.
What was the origin to that?
So again,
it was one teacher that did this to you, that said this to you?
No, all of my teachers, they would
really?
they will all ask you to read, right?
Yeah.
When you're in class, that's just part of school.
Okay.
So the minute I knew that we had to read, my stomach would just turn, because that was the moment that everybody was going to find out I wasn't smart enough. I didn't know how to read. I would stumble on my words. So anytime I heard a teacher say, Liza, you may read, Liza, you may read, it would turn my stomach. But now when I hear Liza May Read, I'm like, damn right, Liza May Read. I'm ready.
I like that.
Yeah.
The goals for the publishing, I'm assuming you don't want to just publish your own books, right?
No.
All right, so what's next for the publishing company?
I would love to publish other people's works. Definitely works that inspire, that tell stories, true stories. Kind of like what you said. I love reading memoirs. I love reading stories that you see what we're all capable of, because we're all the same. We really are. But we're just different variations of it. So when I hear someone's story that's inspiring, I see another version of myself, something that I am capable of. And I feel like that's with anybody. Anytime someone tells me they're inspired by someone, I always say that because that's a version of you. So I love those stories, and I would love to publish those stories. And that is the goal and the plan. I feel like because I felt like a fraud for many years, and I had imposter syndrome, what people call imposter syndrome, for many years because I didn't read books. I never wrote. But I feel like there's a world of us out there that might feel that way, that might feel like, oh, I'm not studious enough to become an author. I couldn't even say that I was an author. Like, those words would not even come out my mouth. Like, something would hold me back from saying it. And it was because I didn't believe it myself for many years. It wasn't until I did that inner work that then I was like, yeah, I am an author. Like, this is crazy. I have books. So I definitely want to represent people that might feel that way as well, that might feel like frauds, imposters, but they have stories to tell. And sometimes those are the stories that need to be told, and they're not. There's so many people that are like kind of hiding these stories out of fear. I was definitely one of them. So my platform is for those people, for sure.
Nice. So how far are you along with getting it into New York City?
I'm in schools. I'm actually working with first graders, third graders, and fourth graders. So I always thought it would cap at third grade, but it's actually being used for fourth grade
for
now.
Everyone.
It really is, and that's what I'm learning, My words came true. So be impeccable with your words, right?
For agreements, absolutely.
So, yeah.
so how does it work? You it's like one school at a time, I'm assuming?
For now, I can do 2 schools, kind of divvy up my time. But yeah, for now. And then eventually I do see myself getting more people involved, and because I want to hit all the boroughs. I don't want to just stay in the Bronx. So
nice.
And I'm only capable of doing so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think the afterlife is?
I do not know. But
with all these NDE stories,
it's
I feel like we're almost there.
I know. I personally believe that we come back. I think
reincarnation.
I do. I think we're just constantly evolving our souls. Our souls are infinite, never ending, and we're just constantly evolving into different characters each and every time and leveling up as we go. And then eventually, I don't know what happens when you've leveled up so much. Maybe you become like a guide or an angel or an alien. I have no idea. There's so many different avatars these days. But all I could do is focus on this character, and I'm digging her for the first time ever. So nice. I'm enjoying this character.
Nice. What do you feel about AI? Do you use it at all?
I do, yeah. I do. Like everything, I'm not even worried about AI. I'm worried about the people who create the AI. Because I think with everything, we're creators. We're all creators. And depending on how you are, how your soul is, that's kind of what you're going to be creating. And that can get a little, like kind of what you said. Anytime I was ever in a darker place, I wouldn't want to create. Because again, back to that first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Mm-hmm. Words are powerful. That's why it's called spelling, right? Words are spells.
Yeah.
They're really powerful. So everything I've ever written in this book has come true. Wow. And this is a children's book. But everything I've written in this book, I've lived. So I saw it firsthand. I would always say, you ever seen the movie Jumanji?
Oh, yeah.
It felt like Jumanji. Like shit was just coming to life, Like I was like, I need to be careful with what this quote writes. So I'm very mindful as to what I write. I'm very mindful as to what I listen to now as well, because I would listen to all types of music. But, I'm keeping it light these days, keeping it happy, and yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the happy.
That's so funny.
Outside of the publishing and the book, what are your life goals?
Life goals. I want to continue to be the author of my life, continue to live with intention, and continue to be inspired and inspire. And I think that's kind of what we're all here to do. We're all here to help each other in whatever way that might be. So however I can help someone, I want to be there. I want to be a bucket filler, not a bucket dipper. So, yeah.
You've ever dabbled with psychedelics?
Never. I never felt called to. But I've heard good things about them.
you're already thinking deep enough into the spiritual world.
Yeah.
You're just gonna fall right in.
I'm microdosing naturally in the spiritual world. You know,
like
I could
that.
only take so much. Like I said, my mind is very logical. So I've battled with my spiritual side for many, many years. And it wasn't until I surrendered to it that my life became the life that it is now, which I'm so grateful for it.
Nice. If you had one law everyone on earth had to follow, what would it be?
That's a beautiful question. One law everyone had to follow. You know, I think the golden rule is pretty on point. Like, treat others the way you want to be treated. I think it's so simple, but it is what it is, right? I think that rule already exists.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where can people find you or the book? How do you want people to find you or find the book?
Featherhousepublishing.com. They can purchase the book there. IG's featherhousepublishing.com as well. Before we go, I would love to do one of the activities that I do with the kids with you.
Let's do it.
All right. It's really simple, really quick.
I'm in.
All right, cool.
Make it difficult. I don't care. Oh, wow. Now I'm really in school. Let's do it.
All right. So we got a piece of paper.
Do I need to write? I don't have a pen.
No, you don't need to write. So if anybody's listening, he's holding a piece of paper right now.
Blank, white, printer paper.
Yes. Now what we're going to do is you're going to tell me really mean things about myself. Just be mean to me. And as you're being mean to me and saying all these harsh things to me, crumble up that paper. You down?
I'm down, but I never say mean things to people.
Tap into all the negative things that you watch
I
and
don't
listen
know if
to.
I can do this.
You can do it. You can do it. Don't worry. I got a force field of love and light around me. I'm good. For the people's sake.
This is wild to say negative. As I'm saying them,
As
crumble
you're saying it, crumble that paper up. And crumble it good.
How many things I got to say?
Hit me with like 3 negative things.
Wow. That's deep. Let me think.
I'm glad you're struggling with this, by the way.
Yeah, because it's like I just met you. Like
good.
to say negative things is wild.
No, I've met people and I've done this with them like, sure. And
Perfect.
I'm
I've been
like,
dying for
oh,
this
man.
moment. All right, I could say you're scared, you're anxious, and you're messed up ears.
That is so funny. You didn't say anything really mean to me.
I don't even know how to.
All right. Just say.
I crumbled it already.
You crumbled it.
Yeah,
You crumbled
yeah.
it. Okay, so you were being harsh to me, right?
I was trying my
You were
best.
trying, and I'm grateful that you felt the way you felt. Now, open up that paper and describe that paper to me.
All right. It'll never be the same. It's ripped. The edges aren't even edges anymore. Looks like little mountains. It's trash. I wouldn't write on it. I wouldn't print anything on it. It's toilet paper.
That's my heart.
Oh, because I said but negative things?
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
So I give kids that visual so they can see the power of their words.
I like that.
But it's not just words towards other people. Those are the words towards ourselves. So when we're saying negative things to ourselves, that's what we're doing to our hearts as well. So that's how I teach that lesson.
I like that.
It's
Visuals
simple.
are the best way to teach
Absolutely,
something.
absolutely.
I love it. And it can never be the same. It can never, be
Never
repaired.
be the same. But now say 3 nice things to me. And
then
as
what?
you're saying,
and to flatten it out.
flatten it out.
For real?
Yes,
Flatten it?
that's part of it.
All right, you're nice, you're spiritual, you're well spoken, you're an author,
Thank you.
you smell good,
Thank you.
but it'll never be the same.
But it is a little better,
it's
right?
less mountains, but it's a little better.
It's a little better.
But
So
it's still
words,
torn.
yeah.
I can't
Words do
fix the
heal,
tear.
though. Words do heal. But like you said, it'll never be the same. So let's be mindful of the words we speak from the very beginning, because we don't have to want to try to flatten all these mountains in other people's hearts and in our own hearts. So that's what I teach.
I love
One
it.
of the lessons.
And, kids keep everything. Our brains are like memory cards.
Yeah.
We keep everything. So something like this will stand out to them, especially because it's physical.
Right.
They say write stuff down because when you write it, it exists. It's real now. But if you're just
Absolutely.
thinking things, you're not going to put it really. But when it's written, it's real. So when you see something, it's real.
Absolutely.
And you can really remember it this way.
Right. And you'll always have that visual of someone's heart. But that's for the adults as well. Like, we need to
Absolutely.
remember
Absolutely.
that.
It's for everyone.
It's for everyone. That's
Is
right.
it written on there? It says everyone?
Right on the back.
No way, that's awesome.
Yes, I crossed it out.
Oh, you literally crossed it out. I love it. So what is this map?
So that's Blythington. That's where everything takes place.
Made up place.
Made up land.
All in your head? You made this up?
Yes.
Or the illustrator?
No, I created Blythington, and then he illustrated Blythington. He turned it to an actual place.
Tell us about Blythington. There's a lot going on. I see
There
a
is
circus
a lot
tent in the
going on.
middle.
So
a few
that's-
circus tents.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a
Some
circus
mazes.
town.
Okay.
And within that town, every book there it starts off with a map, and you're getting a little piece of Blythington as you go along. That's basically how I see this world. This is one big circus, and we're all a bunch of different acts, right? So
I like that. This is like the Truman Show. Like it has its borders.
Right.
And everything's in there. I love it.
And you meet all these characters. You have Persnickety, the Quarrelsome Twins, Poor Pebble Paul, Lepido, Safia, and the Fairy. Those are my
Safia.
books. Safia, yes.
Not Sophia.
No, Safia.
I like that.
That's funny.
Anything that I didn't touch on that we should cover?
No, I think this was great. Again, I'm so grateful that you had me on and that I'm here to talk about this. And I've enjoyed speaking with you.
Likewise. I like talking deep conversations about spirituality and all that stuff and helping kids. It's like as adults, we have self-development and self-help books, but this is like digestible for any age.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
perfect. I love it.
Thank you.
And if that's it, thank you very much for the great conversation.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for watching. Peace and love.